simply showing up. And so I want to thank you for showing up. And so here's what I want to talk to you about tonight. My question for you is, who's in your ear? Who is it that you're listening to on a daily basis? Here's what I know, that the people who are speaking in your life, the people that you're having conversations with, the people that you're allowing to speak into your life are either doing one of two things. Either one, they're helping to grow your dream. They're helping to expand your vision. They're helping you to take things to the next level. They're helping you to actually raise the bar in your life. They're giving birth to your goals and your dreams. They're helping you to actually push forward and get closer to whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish in your life. Or on the other side, unfortunately, they're causing you to make your dreams become smaller and smaller. Unfortunately, they're helping you to see all the obstacles as opposed to the opportunities. Unfortunately, instead of giving oxygen to your goals and your dreams, they're suffocating your goals and your dreams. And not only that, but if you allow them to speak into you long enough, they will eventually kill your goals and your dreams. And so I'm a firm believer that as you're going after your goals and your dreams right now, that I can assure you of this: a major part of your success, a major deciding factor as to whether or not you're going to accomplish your goals and your dreams or not, is who you're allowing to speak into your ear. Who is it that you're having your conversation with? I remember not long ago, maybe some years ago, one of the cell phone companies were talking about your Fab Five, right? So those are your 5 favorite people, the 5 people that you're speaking the most to. Studies have shown that you literally make within a few $1,000s of the 5 people that you're having the most amount of conversations with. Some of you remember your grandmother, your mother saying, hey, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And so one of the things that I know is the reason why they said that is because they understand that the people that you allow to speak into your life, the people that you are having the most amount of conversation with, those people ultimately will decide how your life turns out. And as I look back at my life right now and I think about some of the things I was able to accomplish, I wish that I could take credit for it. You know, I wish that when I created a turn in my life, where I remember I started off in elementary school, and when I first started off, one of the things that they did was they called me into the front office. And the reason why they called me in is because I was having some difficulties within the very first week of school. And they were trying to figure out, well, what is this kid struggling with? What's his issue? And so when they looked at my birth certificate, they said, my goodness, he was born in the United States, but it doesn't seem like he speaks English very fluently. And so what they would soon discover is many of my challenges was the reason why, even though I was born here in the United States, I was mostly listening to Creole in my household. So I was more comfortable speaking Creole than I was speaking English. And so I wish that I could take credit from being that student that they singled out, that student that they thought that they were going to have to put into a special class for students specifically who have issues being able to speak English, to then making a complete shift and becoming a straight A student, to go through middle school, elementary school, high school as a straight A student, to go on to college and graduate summa cum laude and basically getting the lowest grade in college being an A-, to go on to get my master's degree and then my CPA license. I wish that I could take credit for that, but I tell you that the only reason why that was possible was when they called my mother in, and I thought that maybe perhaps something was wrong with me. My mom got in my ear and she said, don't worry, don't listen to them. It's just, you just have a little issue right now, but don't worry, I'm going to find you a tutor and everything is going to be okay. You're going to end up becoming a straight A student. It was because the lady that she had come into my life, this lady by the name of Marie-Claire Bouvet, Madame Jean-Pierre, as we call her, nicknamed Keke. It was because I had her in my life. It was because she was in my ear teaching me about the importance of raising the bar. It was because she was in my ear teaching me that it wasn't good enough to just simply just settle for average, but that she would tell me all the time, Andy, is that the best you can do? And if I knew in my heart that it wasn't the best that I could do, she would make me sit down and do it all over again. It's because those women were in my ear telling me about all of the possibilities, telling me about the things that could happen. I remember as I look back and I reflect on my life, every single monumental moment, and I have to say that so much of what I've accomplished I have to attribute to my mom. And I think about every single moment. The moment that I was identified in elementary school and they said, hey, listen, this kid may have a problem. She was in my ear and said, don't listen to them. You will become a straight A student. When I was leaving high school and I was going to college and I said, Mom, they said that, it's virtually impossible to get straight A's in college. I'm going to Florida State as all these students. She said, don't listen to them. You can do it. You'll still be able to do it. And because she was in my ear and because I believed it, I pulled it off. And then I said, Mom, I said, listen, I hear that, that it's great, especially for someone with an accounting degree, to go work for one of the big accounting firms, PricewaterhouseCoopers or Deloitte and Touche or Arthur Anderson or Ernst & Young. But I heard it's real difficult to be able to get a job with them. She said, don't worry. Not only are you going to get a job, but you're going to get multiple offers. She was in my ear. And the very thing that she spoke into my life is what happened. I got multiple offers. And then I said, well, I want to get my CPA license. I heard it's really difficult to pass the CPA exam. As a matter of fact, most people don't pass the CPA exam on the first try. She said, don't worry about it. I guarantee you that you will pass it on your very first try. And sure enough, I passed the CPA exam. When I started working in corporate America, and there was a part of me that was saying, Andy, there's got to be more than this. When there was a part of me that said, listen, I know that there's more to this. Yes, this is an amazing company, but there's something inside of me that's saying, Andy, there's more than this. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to go after my goals and my dreams. When other people thought I was crazy, my mother said, Andy, I know you can do it. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you can become an entrepreneur. And when I stepped out to become an entrepreneur and I decided to get involved with real estate and I started investing in real estate, and by my second year in real estate, I was making over 6 figures in real estate through real estate transactions. I wish I could take credit for that, but I had a gentleman by the name of Eric Rett, who's a former NFL player who was heavily involved in real estate, who was mentoring me on a daily basis, who was in my ear and saying, Andy, do this. This is what you need to purchase. This is how you need to position yourself. Yes, you can find the resources. Let me show you how. And I'm telling you, when I finally sat down at that personal development event and I saw a gentleman standing at the front of the room, and he was talking about finding your passion and your purpose in life. And he said that if you don't know what your passion and your purpose is in life, and you're still trying to figure out what that thing is, he said, allow me to help you to figure out what that thing is. He said, imagine, if you will, for a moment, that you had all the money that you ever needed in your bank account. He says, I want you to examine that right now. Act as if you have all the money you want in your bank account, whether that's 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. He said, now I want you to also think about if you had no fear, no doubt, if there's no fear and no doubt in your mind, and not just that, but it was guaranteed that you would have success in your life. But there is one caveat. He said that you still had to wake up every single day and provide a service. He said, what is it that you would wake up every single day and do? What is it that you could wake up every single day and do? And so I thought about that. And there was a part of me who said, I want to be the guy in the front of the room. I want to learn how to be able to share stories. I want to be able to inspire people. I want to equip them with life-changing principles. I want to show people how to go from living an ordinary life to living an extraordinary life. I want to show people how to create multiple streams of income. I want to help people to learn how to use their voice, how to use their story. And so after listening to that gentleman and then me saying, wait a second, I want to go from investing in real estate and speaking about real estate to now I want to go into the arena of personal development. I want to become a strategic storytelling expert. I want to create impact. I want to have influence. I want to have the capacity to go in and train CEOs and board members. I want to be able to get on national television. I want to be able to speak to audiences in excess of a couple hundred people. No, I want to speak to audiences that have a couple thousand people. I remember when I said that, once again, my mom said, you can do it. If that's what you want to do, then you can absolutely do it. And so I wish that when I look back at my life right now that I could take credit. I really wish I could take credit for the things that I've accomplished. But I'm telling you, as I look back in my life, I think about Marie Henriquez, my mother. I think about Marie Claire Bouvet, my second mother. I think about Eric Rett. I think about all those people who spoke into my ear. I think about Les Brown. I think about a Jim Rohn. I think about a Zig Ziglar. I think about Tony Robbins. I think about those individuals that I would put into my radio, and I would put into CDs, and I would listen to their voices over and over and over and over again. And I would allow them to speak into my ear and make deposits into my life. And I'm telling you that everything that I've accomplished to this point, and everything that I ever will accomplish, is the sum total of all those people who've been in my ear. And I can say that I'm grateful for that. But let me tell you something, and let me warn you that you can have the right people in your ear and you can accomplish some extraordinary things. If you have the right people in your ear, you'll be able to go through a brick wall. You have the right people in your ear, you'll be able to make a significant career change. If you have the right people in your ear, you'll be able to find your passion and be able to make significant impact. If you have the right people in your ear, you'll be able to completely change the landscape of your life. If you have the right people in your ear, you'll be able to accomplish things that you didn't even think was even possible for you. But let me tell you this, if you have the wrong people in your ear, those individuals, unfortunately, will force you and cause you to begin to think small. If you have the wrong people in your ear, those individuals, unfortunately, will begin to poke holes and have you second guess and allow you to begin to doubt everything that you want to accomplish and achieve. If you have the wrong people in your ear, you will fall short of your goals and your dreams. You'll walk away from your destiny, and you'll start becoming more focused on the obstacles and all the things that are preventing you from accomplishing your goals and your dreams, as opposed to focusing on making those things become a reality. And so the reason why I say that to you is because I'm telling you that one of the most important things that you can do is be very selective as to who you allow to speak into your ear. Who do you allow to talk to you? Many times when I'm speaking to my coaching students, and when I'm asking them about something that they're looking to accomplish, and I pose the question to them and I say, well, you're saying that you want to write the book. You're saying that you want to become a speaker. You're saying that you want to grow the business. You're saying that you want to go into business. You're saying that you want to get a degree. You're saying that you want to make this thing happen. And so my question for you is, why aren't you making it happen? Why aren't you doing this? And oftentimes when I ask that question, the response that I often hear, unfortunately, is that they go into a dialogue and they begin to tell me a story about how someone told them that it was difficult, or someone told them that it was going to require something that maybe perhaps they didn't feel like they had, or someone told them that it was just really difficult and most likely they couldn't make it happen. And then I'll go on to ask them the question, well, let me ask you a question. This person that told you that it's difficult to write the book, the person who told you that it's too late for you to go back and get the degree, the person who told you that you need to have a certain amount of resources in order to start the business or in order to invest in real estate, the person who told you that you can never be able to get out of debt, that person, let me ask you a question, has that person done the thing that they told you that you can't do? And so oftentimes when I ask that question, they say, well, you know what, now that I think about it, I don't think that they have. Well, let me go one step further. Have they at least attempted to do what they told you that you can't do? And oftentimes they'll tell me, I don't even know if they've ever done it. And so they told me they had a cousin or brother or aunt who tried it or who wanted to do it, or something that they read or something that they saw. And so they shared it with me. In that moment, they allowed somebody's opinion, they allowed somebody else to basically speak into their life, but not speak life, but rather speak death. It's been said that both life and death is in the tongue. And so the people who are speaking into your life are either breathing life and are giving life to your goals and your dreams, or they're killing your goals and your dreams. They're killing it. And so once again, my question for you is, who is in your ear? Who is it that you're allowing to speak to you? Who is it that you're having consistent conversation with? And let me just tell you this, the conversations that you're having with them is not just the conversations that they're having about your life, but even those who are having conversations and they're telling you about all the limitations in their own life. They're telling you about how difficult things is. You know who that person is. I'm talking about that person that gets on the phone with you and tells you, you know what, it is so hard to make money. Don't you think it's so hard to get money? Every time they talk about a limitation, they want you to agree with them. Well, you know, it's just so terrible. You can't trust people out there. You know what I'm talking about? You just can't trust people out there. And so every time they say something, they want you to agree with them. Or they'll tell you, well, you know what? You know, it's too late at this point. Don't you think it's too late for me to go ahead and try to do that? And so they want you to agree. And so you got to listen to that person. You got to interrupt that and say, no, 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 no. That's your conversation. And what I need you to understand this is if you listen to that conversation enough, even if they're not talking about your life, but they're talking about their own lives, if you listen to the conversation enough, they will make deposits indirectly into your life. You will be amazed how just simply listening, people are making deposits into your life at a subconscious level. It is going in, they're making deposits, and it's happening without even being detected. And when the voices in your life will influence you without even realizing. I remember when I first really started getting serious about becoming a speaker, and I would listen consistently to other motivational speakers. And there was one particular season in which I was listening to a gentleman by the name of Zig Ziglar. And many of you have probably heard of Zig Ziglar, and unfortunately, Zig Ziglar is no longer with us. But Zig Ziglar is the individual who said that fear is false evidence appearing real. Zig Ziglar was known for being very charismatic, high energy. And if you ever listen to Zig Ziglar, he would speak with a Southern drawl. And so he would talk about his wife, and he'd say, my wife and that little redhead, and redhead is what I call her. And he would say certain things with the draw. And he said, if you want to go after your goals and your dreams, and he would say things with the draw. And let me tell you what happened. I was listening to him. He was in my ear. And I tell you, here's what happened. I found myself practicing delivering talks and practicing delivering speeches. And one particular time, I recorded myself delivering and practicing a speech. And I went back and I listened and I said to myself, my goodness. And I said, Andy, I can't believe this. And the reason why I was in shock is because I, without even realizing it, picked up his Southern drawl. And so even though I don't have a Southern drawl, because I had been listening to him, because he was speaking in my ear and I was allowing him to talk into my ear consistently enough without even realizing it, I adjusted my cadence to emulate the way that he spoke without even realizing it. And so I share that with you to make you realize this, that right now that there are some people who are talking in your ear. And hopefully if you've got the right people talking in your ear, they're hopefully making some great deposits. And without them even being present, you're starting to think like them. Without them even being present, their voice is in the back of your mind when it's time for you to make crucial decisions. And so you think about what it is that they would do, what it is that they would say, and you act from that place. But let me also warn you too, that there are some individuals that have spoken into your life. And unfortunately, without you even realizing it, they've made some negative deposits into your life. And without even realizing it, you have accepted those deposits, whether you are aware of it at a conscious level or not, you've accepted those deposits. And before you know it, those deposits will eventually produce evidence and results in your life. And so my question for you once again is, who's in your ear? Who is it that you're allowing to talk into your life? What is it that they're saying about the possibilities? What are they saying right now about your current situation? What are they saying about your goals and your dreams? Are they challenging you? Are they asking you to raise the bar? Are they helping you to see the possibilities when maybe perhaps you are focused on all the obstacles? Or are they helping you to cast a greater vision of yourself? Or are they encouraging you in moments when you make a mistake and you want to beat yourself up? And are they helping you to realize that just because you failed or you experience a failure, it doesn't mean that you are a failure? That failure is simply an event. It is not who you are. Are they able to talk to you, remind you of who you are? Can they tell you every once in a while that you've been fearfully and wonderfully made? Have they reminded you of what the promises are in store for your life? promises for good and not for evil? Have they promised you that this is just the beginning? Have they promised you and made you understand that whatever it is that you're going through right now, understand this, that you're simply going through it and you've got to trust the process and you can get it to the other side? Are they reminding you that when you're going through hell, you got to keep going? Are they reminding you that a setback is a setup for a comeback, like Willie Jolly would say? Are they telling you that every breakdown is preparing you for a breakthrough, like John C. Maxwell is saying? Or are they telling you it's not possible? Are they telling you it's too hard? Are they telling you why bother? Are they telling you that it didn't work out for them and it's probably not going to work out for you? Are they telling you it's too late? Are they telling you that you need to have more resources? Are they telling you it's probably just not going to work out? What are they saying? Who are you allowing to speak into your ear? That's my question for you. And perhaps one of the most difficult things that you will have to do. It's powerful, but it's difficult. One of the most difficult things that you ever have to do is to filter and remove certain people who you have given clearance and a free passageway to speaking into your ear. And so even though it's difficult, it may mean that you have to pull out your cell phone and go back through your contact list. And one by one, there may be some individuals that you have to delete from your contact list. No hard feelings. And yes, I understand you've gotten accustomed to talking to them on a regular basis. Yes, I understand that you've known them for so long and so forth. But there's a possibility that their season is done. Now, it doesn't mean you can't be nice when you see them out. Doesn't mean you can't like their posts on social media if you see them every now and then. But they shouldn't be speaking into your ear on a consistent basis. Because if you allow them to consistently speak into your ear, unfortunately, those conversations are going to create results in your life. And if you're not happy with the results that you're creating right now, if you know that there's more in you, if you know that you have the ability to go to the next level, then what I'm suggesting is that maybe perhaps you change who you're allowing to speak into your ear. And so one of the best things that you could do right now is to go through your phone and literally delete people. If it is too difficult for you to delete, then maybe you need to go ahead and change certain people's names to do not answer. Because those are the individuals, when they call you, you just flat out don't need to answer. You say, oh, Andy, that is so bad. I can't believe you're saying that. Listen, there are certain people that unfortunately you can't pick up the phone. Now, I do understand that there are some people, no matter how negative they are, you may still have to pick up the phone. Maybe it's your husband. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, somebody that you're related to. And unfortunately, even though they're extremely negative, you still got to talk to them. Even then, I'll say, try to reduce and condense the conversation time and try to take control of the conversation. So before they take control of the conversation and steer it in a negative way, see if you can go ahead and take it and steer it in a positive way. But what I'm saying to you is you've got to be so very careful about who you're allowing to speak into your life. Who are you allowing to speak into your ear? And so if you would just simply make that minor adjustment, if you would just become conscious of it right now, and you go back through like that old ad and say, who's my Fab Five? Like, who are the 5 people that I have the most amount of conversations with? Who are the 5 people that I allow to speak into my ear? And then I want you to examine those conversations and you say to yourself, well, what are these conversations doing? Are these conversations bringing forth life? Are these conversations increasing my vision, my goals, and my dreams? Are these conversations allowing me to have a bigger vision of myself? Are these conversations allowing me to keep keep the main thing the main thing? Are these conversations empowering me? Are these conversations setting me up for my comeback? Are these conversations preparing me to go towards my breakthrough? Are these conversations challenging me and making me to realize that there's more in me? Or are these conversations limiting? Are these conversations small? Are these conversations literally majoring in the minors? Are these conversations constantly taking the air out of me? When I hang up the phone with that person, does it take me 30 minutes to an hour to recover because they're so negative, they're so toxic? And if you have those individuals in your life, what I'm saying is that it's time to create a shift. It's time for you to go ahead and discover who's your next 5-5, who's going to be the new person on your executive board, who's going to be the next group of people who are sitting on your board of directors, the people that you're going to and that you're having conversation with, the people that you're going to share your goals, your dreams, your shortcomings, your obstacles, your doubts with. You want to make sure that those are the people who are going to help you to take things to the next level. So I'm just going to end by asking you the same question I asked you at the very beginning. And my question for you is, who is in your ear? You know, this wouldn't be Andy Henriquez if I didn't end by telling you this. Show up for your lives, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, nobody else will. All right. Well, let me just tell you, I am super excited right now. First of all, I just thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me for the Show Up for Your Life motivational movement. And so let me say this right away. You guys know that I am excited. Hopefully, unless you've been buried under a rock someplace, I hope that you know that I have a newly released book. The name of the book is Show Up for Your Life, 7 Principles to Living an Extraordinary Life. And the book is available for pre-order right now. And if you're listening to my voice right now, what I'm saying to you is you have to get a copy of this book. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Right now, pre-order a copy of the book. Let me tell you this. If you are going to make a decision outside of the Bible, okay, outside of the Bible, if you said that there's only one additional book that you are going to read for this year, I'm telling you that the book that you need to read is Show Up for Your Life, 7 Principles to Living an Extraordinary Life. I assure you that if you pick up this book, and once you begin to read the book, once you begin to go into these amazing stories, once you begin to pick up these 7 principles will fundamentally create a shift in your life. Now, for those of you who are watching via the live stream, I want to show you a little sneak peek of my copy right here, Show Up for Your Life, 7 Principles to Living an Extraordinary Life. This is the book. You want to get your hands on this book. You have to get your hands on this book. So this book is available for pre-order right now. It's available for pre-order. And here's how you can do it. You can just simply go to showupforyourlifebook.com. Go there right now. Go to showupforyourlifebook.com. Now, for those of you who are local in the South Florida area, I want to extend a special invitation to you. I am doing a book launch party on April 9th at Piano Hollywood at the Hard Rock Casino Hotel and Bar. This is going to be a phenomenal event. It's April 9th from 7 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. This is an opportunity for us to come together to celebrate. We're going to have fun, music, giveaways. You cannot miss this event if you are here in the South Florida area. And even if you're coming to the event, you can pre-order your book and you'll be able to pick up your book there. And for those of you who are listening in, if you can't be down here, listen, we are absolutely going to miss you, but go ahead and pre-order your book. Go to showupforyourlifebook.com to get your copy of the book. Now, of course, for those